This is Justin Bradford at Bridgestone Arena, where the Nashville Predators took down the San Jose Sharks 4-1 in a complete domination in Game 3 here at Bridgestone Arena with Jeremy K. Gover, Nashville Predators Radio Network. Jeremy, what did you see in Game 3 that was different from Games 1 and 2?
Not a whole lot, actually. Games 1, we've talked about this ad nauseum, actually, how the Predators played well in the first 2 periods or so, 1.5 periods at least, and then in the third period, because they played every other night since the entire, the Game 7 hard grinding series against the Ducks, it seemed to catch up with them. At the same time, simultaneously, the San Jose Sharks found their legs from being off for a week and just steamrolled the Preds in the third period. Now, that being said, in Game 2, I thought the Predators played a tremendous game. I thought they played really, really well, and they carried that over. Even though they didn't get the result they wanted, I think they carried that over into tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the back of your head. You know the situation, but I thought that everybody stayed loose. It was a good atmosphere before the game, and it wasn't too tight, and guys weren't too nervous about it. And obviously, it's nice to play at home in front of our fans, and makes a difference. And tonight was a special night again.
We want to play like that all the time, and especially in the playoffs. There's no games that you can't be desperate. I mean, that's the biggest thing that we play. Yeah, I think we played pretty similar like we did in the last game, and that's the way we want to play. I mean, we had success playing for a certain way all year, and why change in the playoffs?
No, I mean, our guys have played hard. Like, I think the only game that we look back on where we say that we weren't on our toes and ready to jump was Game 3 in the first round. Short of that, I mean, and that happens, I think, sometimes. You just don't have your stuff. But, Game 1 we had it, and it just was a tough break, and the power play goal that they scored, and the building kind of took over from there. Game 2, I like the way we played. Game 3, I like the way we played. So I think our guys are playing pretty good hockey right now.
Obviously, one of the stories this evening was center Mike Ribero's healthy scratch for the evening. Pontus Åberg called up from Milwaukee Admirals, not even a black ace, but actually called up to play in the lineup. Saw his first NHL game in a playoff game tonight. So overall, just your thoughts on Pontus's game and the thoughts behind Peter Laviolette scratching Mike Ribeiro.
First of all, welcome to the NHL, Pontus Åberg, because he played a good game, and you could tell the nerves were there in the first couple shifts. He got hit, I think, in the second period by a blindside, kind of an open ice check. So it was like, hey, welcome to the NHL. But yeah, congratulations to him, obviously. But the Mike Ribeiro scratch was interesting for me. I think it was well overdue, but at the same time, I thought if you were going to scratch him, you would have scratched him after, in the last round. He didn't do anything that I saw that was so egregious in Game 2, or even Game 1 for that matter. Now, has he been basically non-existent? Yes. I mean, I'm not arguing that. But there was nothing that was just so like, it cost him the game or anything like that. And so it was an interesting scratch. But now you have to make the call. Do you put him back in after a win, after a dominating win, like you said? Do you put him back in the lineup, or, as a statement game, like, all right, you slap on your hand, you missed a game, now go back out and play your heart out? Or do you stick with the lineup that's working? And that's going to be the interesting thing. Obviously, we're going to see about who's healthy and who's not, but it would be very interesting to see if Mike Ribeiro is in the lineup on Thursday night.
Yeah, with regard to that, it's just a minor decision that I made. And Pontus, I thought, came in and gave us some good speed. He was a good player for Milwaukee down the stretch. He brings speed and skill, and this is a fast game right now against San Jose. So, I thought he did a good job. I don't think he had, too many minutes. But in saying that, it's his first game in the National Hockey League too, so that can be a little bit overwhelming. Come into our building with the energy that's in here, and first playoff game, down 2 in the series. It's a big piece to bite off for him, and I thought he did a real good job just using his speed and playing a good game. Smart team. You can see that he's got speed. You can see that he's got skill.
And Jeremy, as you mentioned, who's healthy, who's not, Colton Sissons took an absolutely atrocious slide into the net, saw his knee just go completely back and fold. Yet just a few minutes later, back on the ice and actually skated a shift, testing it out and seeing how that goes. Is it adrenaline or something else like that? We may find out tomorrow, but he did finish the game and is obviously huge for the Nashville Predators. Do you think he plays in Game 4?
Yeah, I mean, I think he could, but at the same time, we have to see what his injury is going to be like after he takes his pads off, right? I mean, we hear all the time about how players get block a shot in their ankle or something like that, and they're afraid to take their skate off because the second they do, it's going to balloon up. So they leave their skate on, they finish the game, and then they evaluate it later. So it will be interesting to see what happens tomorrow in a practice game and then Thursday for the game as well.
Well, you never know when a player goes in. I mean, that looked serious to me when it happened. He was going full speed and hit the post full speed. I can tell you, it was great for our bench to see him come back. He's really worked himself into a position. He brings face-offs and speed, and real smart two-way player for us. To get a guy back like that you're thinking maybe it could be longer term. That was a real positive at the end of the game.
Obviously, it didn't look too good, but I mean, we got a lot of tough guys, and Sis is definitely one of the toughest.
And that does it here from Bridgestone Arena. Game 4, Thursday night, another 8 p.m. start for the Nashville Predators. What do they need to continue to do to get another victory and tie the series up?
Well, they're doing well in the 8 o'clock starts the series at least. Big 1-0. But, if they can carry over the same momentum, and again, they're up against the wall, right? I mean, they know that if they go down 3-1, go back to San Jose, it's not over yet, but things aren't looking good, right? So they really need the game on Thursday. If they play the same as they did on games 2 and game 3, they should come out on top. So I think if you see a power play convert, Rinne play well, and they can have that same tenacity on every shift, I think they should be okay.
And that's exactly what you saw tonight, a power play goal. Rinne making those saves he had to make. And again, a 4-1 victory, making it only a 2-1 series lead for San Jose. This is Justin Bradford, Penalty Box Radio for Jeremy K. Gover, the Nashville Predators Radio Network. Thanks for tuning in.